Hi, welcome to Introduction to Shamanism. In this 6-module course, you will be bringing the ancient art of shamanic practice into your 21st century life. My name's Debbie Barr, and I'm a shamanic practitioner based in Bangor, County Down, Northern Ireland, and I run a business called Rocks and Rituals, which is a mind, body, spirit business. And shamanic practice is one of the core foundations of the work that I do. So I'm happy to introduce you to the concepts of shamanism. You may know a little already, or perhaps not. So the purpose of this 6-module training course is to give you an idea of the basics and to give you a flavour of what to expect if you decide to embark on a shamanic way of life. In Module 1, we'll be looking at the basics of the concepts as well as sacred space and intention. So the concepts that we'll be looking at today, we'll be looking at what shamanism is and talking about the shamanic journey. We'll be talking about a non-ordinary reality, as well as the tools that shamanic practitioners and shamans use to get into trance. I'll be talking about the power of intention and the importance of using your imagination and using your imagination well. We will set sacred space, and we will talk about good practice and safety and ethics. And I'll take you on a guided journey so that you can experience the lower world and your own Garden of Eden for yourself. So let's get started. You may want a wee notepad. Most of the notes will be provided for you in the download section, so you can download the notes to save you having to scribble if you want. Or if you prefer to write as we go, then that's fine, you can do that. Everything will be available for you in the course download area, so feel free to use it. And if you have any problems at all, just get in touch with me. Contact details and support information are in the course area. So let's get started. What is shamanism? And there's lots of different things and lots of terminology. Okay, shamanism, shaman, potato. Okay, you pronounce it whichever way you wish. But what shamanism is the oldest universal practice of mankind. When people have looked into the history of shamanic practice, they have seen that no matter where in the world it's practiced, the concepts are the same. Terminology might be different, but the practices are inherently the same. So whether you're in North America, whether you're in Australia, whether you're in Peru, whether you're in Siberia, whether you're in the Celtic Isles, no matter where you are, the practices are inherently the same. And it's oldest because there are pieces of material and historic things that have been found. The word escapes me just now. Archaeological finds is what I was looking for, that date back to 80,000 or possibly even 100,000 years ago. So let that sink in, because you think about it, Christianity only is barely 2,000 years old, yet shamanism has been practiced for 100,000 years. So it is the oldest universal practice of mankind, and it is cross-cultural. It also is a living and evolving practice. So even though it may be 100,000 years old, it's just as relevant today as it was then. Because it is a path of direct revelation where you take nature as your personal teacher. Spirit is your teacher. Shamanism respects and understands that there is life and consciousness and energy in all things. Animism is what it's called, where everything is understood to have its own consciousness on some level and its own life force. So the trees have their own life force, the plants have their own life force, the stones and the rocks have their own life force, the water has its life force, the air has its life force, fire has a life force, everything has a life force, including you. And it also states that no one life is more important than another. So you are just as important as the plants, and the plants are just as important as you. We are all as important as each other. No one is better than anyone else. It asks you to set down judgment. It asks you to recognize that you're an intrinsic part of nature, not separate from it. So you're totally connected. And this allows you to remember who you are. because we've become so disconnected in our modern world. We live in insulated homes and insulated houses. We wear rubber soles on our feet. We have tarmac and concrete over natural surface. When was the last time you put your bare feet into a natural surface? For example, grass or the sand. So it's important that we remember our connection. And shamanism and shamanic practice helps you to remember that connection. And it becomes a way of life if you let it and if you let it in. Shamanic practitioners, you'll hear me refer to shamanic practitioners as opposed to shamans. Shamans are the traditional indigenous peoples who have spent their lives learning shamanic ways. So it would be very disrespectful for us in the West to think that we can call ourselves shamans after a few weeks of study or a few years of study. So in the West, we call ourselves shamanic practitioners. So you'll hear me using that term, but it's just to explain where that comes from. Shamans and shamanic practitioners can move at will between ordinary and non-ordinary reality, and that's important, at will. So you're not being taken over, it's not happening to you, you can't control it. If that's happening, it's more likely to be some mental health disorder as opposed to shamanic practice. And I would urge anybody who's watching this who does have a history of a mental health disorder such as schizophrenia or split personality disorder or any of these things to stop and seek medical confirmation before you embark on any shamanic work. It's very important because the nature of shamanic practice is that you're stepping into an altered reality and that you're dealing with spirits and spirit allies and an alternate form of reality. And if you're suffering from delusional behavior or schizophrenia or any mental disorder that causes you not to know what's real and what's not, you could find shamanic practice very disturbing and it could potentially worsen your symptoms. So I would urge you to speak to your healthcare practitioner before you embark on this journey. Having said that, shamanic practice is very, very, very healing work. And the journeys allow you to work with helping spirit allies to get wisdom and healing for yourself. You do this by moving into an altered state of consciousness to access these other worlds, and we'll talk about the other worlds in a moment. And for us in the West, we tend to have to rely very heavily on our imagination initially because we're so indoctrinated in trying to understand the world from what we see, smell, taste, hear, touch with our five senses, that we forget that we are energetic beings who can send our energy out forth into the energetic realms and the other worlds, into the non-ordinary reality. So we'll be talking about power of imagination in a moment. So the shamanic worlds are often called non-ordinary reality. Ordinary reality is this, what you see. This is you right now, your reality that you see around you, things you can touch, things you can smell, things you can taste, things you can hear, things you can see with your normal five senses. Non-ordinary reality asks you to step out of that and into the energetic reality of the world around you. It's often called the dream time as well. Aboriginal people will call it the dream time. Consistently, it is referred to in different ways, but it has three main realms in core shamanism. There's the lower world, middle world, and upper world. And in lower world, which is where we'll be going today, lower world is an area of most pristine natural beauty. It's somewhere that you will travel down to within the belly of the earth. Okay, and you have to get out of your head this idea up is good and down is bad. That's a sky religion thing that says, oh, all up is good and all down is disconnected from. Because down is not bad, down is not. Earth is very healing and it's very beautiful, and we will be going into the belly of the earth to discover the lower world, and that's the energetic reality of nature, the energetic reality of the pristine beauty untouched by human hand. Okay. Middle world is the energetic reality of this reality that we live in. And you would use middle world journeys to do things like land healings, to journey for healing for someone else, to do remote viewing or divination work, if you're a little bit more advanced. Upper world then is your quintessential heavens. It is a more ethereal place. It is a place where you'll find a lot of higher vibrational guides, ascended masters, angelic energy, that sort of wisdom. Okay, so each of the worlds is an energetic aspect, and it's a very real place. Okay, just because you can't see it in your physical eyes doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Okay, because you think about it, you can only see a very small spectrum of color, but that doesn't mean that things like infrared and ultraviolet don't exist. You just can't see them, but you know they're there. So the more you work in non-ordinary reality, the more you'll be able to walk between the worlds, and shamanic practitioners are often said to have a foot in either world. In order to get into altered states, those shamanic practitioners will use tools to get into the trance state. Now, if you ever watch documentaries or have had the good fortune to have been to the Amazon or to have been in any shamanic tribal communities, you will see that they're really happy. They're always singing and dancing and laughing, and they just love life. Okay, and they will use singing to raise their power, and dancing and chanting to raise their energy and to raise their power and to get themselves into the state where they're ready to journey. They will also use percussion and things like the drum and the rattle. Now, in your notes, I've detailed what everything the drums and the rattles are particularly good for. The drumming itself is the main one. The drumming, shamanic practitioners will use a drum, and they have a beat of about 3 to 4 beats a second, which is like a monotonous beating tone, which carries you into the other world. Okay, so it carries you to the non-ordinary reality. It is often called the spirit horse. So the drum is the main tool. But if you find that you don't like the drum, or you don't like to do that, then you can certainly use meditation music. Today, for example, I'll for the purpose of your guided meditation, I will be using soft and gentle music for you rather than a drum. Okay. In our groups, in our in-person groups, when we meet, we often drum together, and it's nice to raise the energy. So the tools and the trances, percussion, anything, rattles, bells. If you don't have a drum, you can make noise yourself. You can clap, sing, dance, chant, anything to take you out of ordinary reality and into an altered state. In our journey today, though, I'm going to use a breathing technique to help you get there, which is a breathing technique where you breathe into the count of 7, hold for 7, exhale to the count of 7 and hold for 7, and then you repeat that 7 times. But don't worry about that right now. I will be guiding you through that. Sometimes that breathing technique can leave you feeling a little bit lightheaded, so make sure you're seated. Well, you will be anyway, but if you do feel breathless or disorientated, or you do have respiratory issues that prevent you from doing that, just breathe to whatever count is comfortable for you. Okay. I mentioned earlier that it's important that we use our imagination, but it's also important that we have a clear intention. Our words that we use and the thoughts that we have literally become our reality. They become things. So if you spend your time imagining the worst and worrying and being fearful, quite often you'll attract that to yourself, because the energy behind our emotions is very real and carries a vibration, and that vibration then gets mirrored back to us. So all our words have an intention, so be careful with what you say and you speak and what you think. Allow your imagination to carry you, and don't let it block you, don't let it hold you back. Quite often our rational mind will get in the way, and we'll say to ourselves, we'll try and find ourselves on our way to journey, and you'll hear me say that an animal's talking to you or something, and your rational mind will go, don't be so stupid, a lion can't speak, or don't be so silly, you can't have a polar bear on the beach, or don't be so silly, a shark can't come out of the water, or don't be so silly, whatever it may be, whatever you're seeing in your journey. And it's okay for you to say to your rational mind, that's fine, I get you, but be quiet, this is my dream, and I will dream what I want. Because you know that in your dreams, in your nighttime dreams, that anything can and will happen. So non-ordinary realities like that. So allow your imagination free rein. But it's important that you set a clear intention, and we will be doing that as part of our journey today. We will also be meeting the gatekeeper and setting an intention and asking permission to go to lower world, because it's about respect as well. We always have to have a good, clear purpose for our journeys. We also must work from sacred space. This gives us not only a safe place to work, but it also helps us move out of normal day-to-day concerns. So when you create a sacred space, when you light candles, when you allow incense to burn, when you allow essential oils to diffuse, when you sit in a sacred environment. It moves you from your day-to-day life. So it's important that you begin to think about that, and that you don't just plonk down after a day's work and go, right, I'm going to journey now. And then you don't have a very good time because you haven't taken the time to step away from your day-to-day life. Okay? By creating a sacred space and an altar space, it also gives a very powerful statement of intent. It's like it turns the lights on and tells spirit you're ready to work, which means the spirit animals and the spirit allies will come and assist you. Gives you a place of focus, gives you a place where you can do your healing and meditation work, gives you a structure to your ceremony and to your rituals and to your practice. Okay, so it's really important. And in our guided meditation today, in our guided journey, I will be creating that sacred space for you. But you may wish to have maybe a candle to hand, or you may wish to have set yourself up a little altar. Okay. Always important to work safely. If you are lighting candles or incense, be careful you're not going to burn the place down. Protect yourself. Make sure you're not going to be disturbed. There's nothing worse than being launched out of a deep journey by someone coming to your door or your phone going off. So if you're using your mobile phone for this, make sure it's on like a do not disturb, so that it doesn't keep pinging with notifications the whole way through. It's also about ethical practice. Okay, first, do no harm. Okay, no harm. Remember the energetic law of three. Whatever vibration you put out, you will get back, and quite often significantly more than what you give out. So it's called the energetic law of three. What you give out, you get back times 3. So bear that in mind. Shamanic practice should not be used for harm. It is only for good. But like anything, it can be used for either. So it's all about your intention. Please operate from a place of purity and love and compassion and respect. It is important that your practice has a beginning, a middle and an end. So at the beginning, we will call in our directional allies and our spirit helpers. And then you will go through your practice. That's your middle. And then at the end, we will close down the space. Because just like you wouldn't go to bed at night leaving your doors and windows open, you don't want to be constantly alerted through the night by spirit activity. So when you're finished, close your space. And that sets a powerful intention. It also creates perfectly safe and ethical boundaries for you to work in. So just make yourself comfortable. And so as not to distract you, I'm just going to turn the camera off now. And I want you just to listen to the meditation. To open a sacred space, fix your gaze softly in front of you, or close your eyes, and move your hands up into a prayer pose at your heart. Extend your hands up with great intentionality past your forehead, so that your palms are together above your head. Then reach up into your soul star chakra above your head and expand this radiant sun to develop and envelop your entire body, fanning your arms out to your sides. Bring your hands back to rest in your lap and experience the soulful space you've established. We will call to the 4 cardinal directions of north, south, east and west, as well as to heaven and earth, and ask them to assist and protect you. Each point of this compass is governed by an archetype. In the south, we call to the serpent, which represents knowledge, sexuality, and the healing power of nature. In the west, the land of the setting sun, we call upon Jaguar, symbol of transformation and renewal, and of life and death. In the north, we call to the hummingbird, symbolizing strength and courage to travel great distance and to embark on an epic journey of evolution and growth. In the east, we call upon the eagle, which symbolizes the ability to transcend this world Above us we call on heaven and the life-sustaining sun, and below us we call on the earth, the creative feminine. To the winds of the south, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around me. Teach me to shed the past the way you shed your skin, to walk softly on the earth. Teach me the beauty way. To the winds of the west, Mother Jaguar, protect my medicine space. Teach me the way of peace, to live impeccably, and show me the way beyond death. To the winds of the north, Hummingbird, grandmothers, grandfathers, ancient ones, come and warm your hands by our fires, and whisper to me in the wind. I honour you who have come before me, and those who will come after me, my children's children. To the winds of the east, great eagle, come to me from the place of the rising sun. Keep me under your wing. Show me the mountains I only dare to dream of. Teach me to fly wing to wing with Great Spirit. Mother Earth, I pray for the healing of all your children, the stone people, the plant people, the four-legged, the two-legged, the creepy crawlers, the finned, the furred, and the winged ones, all my relations. Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations, Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, and you who are the unnameable one, thank you for allowing me to sing the song of life for another day. Your sacred space is now open. Before beginning your meditation for your journey, sit comfortably. Rest your hands in your lap and gently close your eyes, or softly focus on a point on the floor in front of you. Inhale now to a count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 6, 7. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just relax into your breathing now at a pace that's comfortable for you from this safe place. We will now move and journey. Make sure you're comfortable and that you won't be disturbed. Our journey now will take us back to our mythical Eden. You'll be journeying to lower world. The map of the journey is different for every culture. However, this is your personal journey to reconnect with the spirit of the earth and the sacred feminine. Imagine your luminous body going down into the earth. Sense the rich, moist soil, the roots of the great trees, and the stones embedded in the dirt. Go down past the bedrock, deeper and deeper, until you find an underground river. Lie down in this stream, sensing the pebbles pressing on your back, and imagine the cool, refreshing water passing through you, washing away any weariness, concerns, or other energies that you may want to shed and not bring with you into the domain of the soul. When you're ready, let the waters carry you deep into the belly of the earth until you wash up onto the shores of a green, lush garden. Observe a meadow, a spring, and a forest. Find a large rock or boulder in this meadow where you can sit and listen to the songbirds. Remember that you can come here anytime, that you're in need of healing and renewal. This is the life-giving womb of our Great Mother. It is your personal Eden. Call on the gatekeeper, you who are known by 1,000 names, Lord of life and death. Look into the gatekeeper's eyes and continue. Keeper of the seasons, allow me to enter your domain. Show me the landscape of my personal Eden. The gatekeeper appears to each of us in a different form. It can be a beloved ancestor, or a religious figure, or an angelic being. Perhaps you won't see the gatekeeper, just simply sense the presence. But allow the gatekeeper to guide you through the groves of trees, lush gardens and meadows, to meet all the animals that make it their home. Enjoy the garden, where you can speak to the rivers and trees, canyons, the forests, and where nature still speaks to you. Take some time to explore, and I'll call you back in a few moments. once you've explored your personal Eden and discovered its streams, forests, canyons, make your way back to the shores where you entered and dive into the waters of your stream, allowing them to bring you back to the place where you rested before. Relax there once again, letting the waters refresh you and cleanse you as you prepare to return to our world. Now begin your journey back up through the bedrock, past the roots of the great trees, past the giant boulders and through the rich, moist soil. Return to the room and back into your body. Take a deep breath and open your eyes, feeling fully refreshed and renewed, experiencing the sense of belonging and walking with beauty on the earth that results from discovering that you never left Eden. Remember to close your sacred space. Raise your arms up from your sides, up above your head to a prayer position above your head. And with intent to close down the space, bring your hands slowly past your forehead down to prayer position at your heart. Giving thanks to all the archetype energies, thanks to Great Spirit, to the heavens and the earth, to the cardinal directions, to the serpent from the south, to the jaguar from the west, the hummingbird of the north, and the eagle of the east. Thank you all for your presence and wisdom whilst we've been working. Take a deep breath and come fully back to this moment and ground and center your energy by having something to eat or drink. So welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that journey, and you may wish to pause this and write some notes before you forget. But today we looked at the concepts of shamanism and the shamanic worlds and how to journey. And we talked about sacred space and working ethically and safely. In order to deepen your practice, it's important that you bring this into your life and don't just attend the class and then forget about it. So it would be good if you could prepare a sacred space in your home. Create yourself an area where you can have an altar or a working space. And then you may wish to repeat the guided meditation journey to create this inner sanctuary and work with this inner garden of Eden and journal your results. But I'd like you to spend some time as well also reviewing your own belief system to find out what serves you and what doesn't, because shamanism might ask you to set down some things that don't work for you anymore. And maybe just ask yourself what's drawn you to shamanism at this point in time. So remember to download the workbook and complete the deepening practice. And if you can do that before the next class, that would be great. All these items can be found in the course area. And again, if you have any problems, just get in touch. All the details are in the support. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this has opened a door into the shamanic world for you. And in the next module, we'll be looking at the concept of power animals.